Mike Tyson was bullied as a teenager, but did you know he almost fought Michael Jordan? That he's been arrested 38 times? Or that he's the reason Tupac died?
I feel a little guilty.
Yeah, these are 20 things you didn't know about Mike Tyson. And first, did you know his iconic face tattoo was almost something even crazier? See, in 2003, Mike called up his favorite tattoo artist with plans of getting something wild.
I just thought it was a cool tattoo. I was gonna get a bunch of hearts and I was been the man of hearts, baby.
He really wanted his face covered in hearts. My man would have been looking like a damn Valentine card. But thankfully, Mike's tattoo artist refused to do it and sent him home. But at number 19, he almost got sent to the hospital because you might not have known that Mike Tyson's workouts were so dangerous, they could have left him paralyzed. See, Mike Tyson's got a really thick neck, but he wasn't born with that girth. He earned it. Because this 220-pound psycho would roll around on his neck to make it stronger. I mean, one bad move could have literally killed him. So while the exercise worked, it came at a heavy cost for Mike.
Did you ever have neck problems? Like, you need surgery?
Yeah, I had surgery in my neck. You know why? You remember when I used to do those rolls on my head?
Yes.
Those football rolls?
Yes.
They destroyed
Bridges.
me.
But honestly, Mike has always lived life on the edge. Like at number 18, you probably never knew that Mike was arrested 38 times as a child. See, growing up in Brownsville, a really rough area in New York, Mike Tyson had bad influences all around him. One day he'd be watching gangsters run the block, and the next he was seeing people get mugged. So at just 11 years old, the kid started committing grown man crimes, beating up other kids, selling that good, and even robbing houses. So by the time he turned 12, Mike had already been arrested 38 times. Forget a report card, man. This kid got a criminal record. But look, a year later, Mike cleaned up his act, and thank God he did. Cause at number 17, I bet you didn't know that Mike Tyson looked like this at just 13 years old. Yeah, this freak was 200 pounds of pure muscle in middle school. That's a full-grown man. I don't care what you say. But he was acting like a child at number 16. Cause I bet you didn't know that Mike was once knocked out by a hoverboard.
Daddy, I don't want you to fall.
Of all the things that could hurt Mike Tyson, it's a damn hoverboard. But number 15 hurt his pockets, because I bet you didn't know that Mike Tyson has an obsession with pigeons that's costing him millions. And it all started as a kid. See, little Mike got bullied at school all the time. People were calling him fat, making fun of his lisp. So understandably, he didn't want to be around anyone. Instead, he decided to become friends with the neighborhood pigeons. Seriously, he started talking to him, telling him his problems, and before he knew it, he was taking the pigeons home as pets. In fact, his very first fight ever was with a bully that killed one of his pigeons. And if that's how much he loved him as a kid, imagine how far he's taken it as an adult. Cause over the years, Mike has owned thousands of pigeons. He's learned to identify each breed, built an entire room in his mansion for them. But the craziest part is, Mike's pigeons cost him $5 million per year just to take care of. Yeah, it turns out that feeding over 1,000 pigeons cost $400,000 a month. But he's not just taking care of animals. Cause at number 14, Mike once saved a complete stranger's life. See, in 2014, Mike was in Las Vegas, just driving down the freeway, when all of a sudden, he witnessed something terrifying. A motorcyclist was cut off by a taxi and sent flying off his bike. So Mike instantly jumped out of his car and ran over to the victim, yelling at everyone to not touch the guy. And doctors claim that he only survived because Mike was the first one on the scene and stopped anyone from touching the victim.
He's my hero. In all honesty, I words can't express how much appreciation I have for him, because I'm sitting there, I'm at the mercy of the world, and I got Mike Tyson sitting there making sure that the world didn't come and kick me while I'm down.
Damn, my man Mike's a hero. And look, heroes get thirsty too, cause at number 13, I bet you didn't know that Mike Tyson has his own line of CBD drinks, and it's got the most genius name.
After work, you need to refresh, relax with some friends, recover from this quagmire called life.
Excuse me.
You deserve a drink.
Excuse me. Can I have a drink?
What's a drink?
Stress less. Drink more. Drink.
Well damn, I need me a drink right now. that looks delicious. But number 12 is just vicious, because one mistake not only cost Tyson hundreds of thousands, but it almost killed someone. See, in 1992, while Mike was in prison, he met an inmate that just so happened to know a guy who knew a guy that sold exotic animals. And, with Mike having a couple of screws loose, one thing led to another, and what do you know? He spent $70,000 from prison buying 2 Bengal tigers. And while he thought this was the best purchase ever, Mike was dead wrong.
And this drunk lady, she got held and she came out of her house thinking she could play with the kid because it's cute. Said, oh, he's so cute. And she ripped all her hand off. She ain't never got mad at me, never got mad at anybody in her life. And this lady just got over there and got a hand.
Took the whole hand off?
She sued me and stuff, and she lost. But I gave her $200,000 anyway because she was fucked up. So I said, yeah, you can keep it.
Man, having a tiger for a pet. Mike's not afraid of anything. I mean, in number 11, you probably didn't know that. He's not even afraid of Hezbollah.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good one.
oh, you really
Man, I feel bad. Little guy was getting all gobbled up. That's gotta be a crime. But anyways, it's top 10 time. So you're not gonna know a thing about Mike. And I bet you didn't know that Mike Tyson got Tupac killed. See, Mike Tyson and Tupac were good friends. I mean, Mike listened to his music, they'd party at the club. Tupac even visited Mike when he was in prison. But unfortunately, on September 7th, 1996, that friendship ended. Cause Mike was fighting Bruce Seldon in Las Vegas and wanted to have a good time after. So he called Pac, pressuring him to come out and party at Club 662. And as Tupac was on the way to the club, he was shot. And when Mike found out, he felt like it was all his fault.
How did you feel when you heard the bad news about Tupac?
I felt a little guilty about him coming to fight me, pressuring him for the, hey, bring the tape, don't forget the tape, you know?
Man, I feel bad for him. But he was asking for it in number 9. Cause you probably didn't know that Mike Tyson once tried to beat a gorilla in a fist fight. In the 80s, Mike offered to pay a zoo in New York $10,000 just to fight one of their gorillas. And these things can weigh up to 500 pounds. They're as tall as a full-grown man, and their bite packs over 1,300 pounds of force. That is double the amount of a lion. But unfortunately, the zoo said no. So I guess we'll never know if he can beat up a gorilla. Mike almost fought something even scarier in number 8. Cause you definitely didn't know that Mike Tyson almost beat the out of Michael Jordan. In 1998, Mike Tyson was at a restaurant in Chicago celebrating a friend's birthday when all of a sudden, he looked across the room and sees the one dude that could ruin his night, the man who used to date his ex-wife, Michael Jordan. And Tyson thought Jordan might have been trying his luck at her again. So he got up, walked over to Jordan, and popped off, saying, hey man, you think I'm stupid? I know you fuck with my bitch. I'ma bust this dude's ass. Yeah, he tried to make the GOAT look like a sheep. But thankfully, Tyson's team defused the situation before he could punch MJ. So in the end, no one got hurt. But I can't say the same for number 7, cause you probably didn't know that Mike once tried to bribe the police, and it went horribly wrong. One night, Mike was out cruising the streets of New York with his wife, Robin, and the two were just enjoying themselves until Robin reached into Mike's pocket and found a handful of used condoms. Yeah, Mike was caught cheating, making Robin go crazy. So she took the keys to Mike's $230,000 Rolls Royce and crashed it into another car, breaking an innocent man's arm in the process. But believe it or not, it gets way worse than that. Cause at the time, Mike didn't even have a driver's license. And with the cops on the way, he was afraid of going to jail. So with only a few minutes to think, he started scheming and came up with a devious plan.
And so the cops came and the cops were saying, hey, what happened here? Right? And I was afraid that they were going to arrest me or arrest us. So I said, well, nothing happened, officer. I said, sir, why don't you just take the car? You deserve it because you've been doing a lot. Because I didn't want to get arrested. I didn't have license or anything. Right. And I didn't want my wife to get in trouble. So why don't you just take it? It'll be okay. Hey, man, take it, man. Do this, man. You deserve this. Take it. And they took it.
But they made him give away the car, right? They made him.
No, because I went back to my office and I said, give me my fucking car back. I went to the
Really?
Yeah, he got fired.
He did?
Yeah, he got.
Oh my God.
He probably hearing this night. I'm gonna get that bastard, Tyson.
No. So you gave it to him.
Man, that cop should have called no trade backs. What the hell was he thinking? But anyways, we gotta talk about number 6, because I don't think you knew that Mike had his wife stolen by a celebrity. See, in 1988, Mike was dating Hollywood actress Robin Givens, and he was in love, because after just a year of dating, the two tied the knot and were on cloud 9. That is, until one day, Mike's demons started to take over and ended up driving Robin away. So, just a year into their marriage, Robin filed for divorce, and as Mike was about to hand over the divorce papers to his lawyer, he decided to go visit Robin one last time. But when he got to her house, he was starstruck, because he saw that his wife had already found a new man.
I go to the house, I ring the buzzer, no one's there. I go back to my car. Okay, they might be working. And as I go to my car, she drives up. Oh, right, it's gonna happen, it's going down. She drives up with the handsome Brad Pitt. I said, oh man, I ain't gonna get no pussy.
Now, we're inside the top 5, so we're going deep in our bag. And you definitely didn't know about the time Mike Tyson stopped a tragedy by stepping in front of a loaded gun. See, one night, Mike was out at the club, turning up with a bunch of his celebrity friends, just having a great night, until some sketchy dude walked up and started messing with some of Mike's friends, famous actress Rosie Perez and her sister Sally. So this guy is creeping on her, begging Sally to dance and not taking no for an answer. And after multiple rejections, the dude pulls out a gun. So Sally and Rosie figured there's no better man to call than the goat himself. And that's when Mike went savage mode.
Cause she wouldn't dance with him and you went, let me go talk to him. And you went right down to him, went up to him like this, his gun, like put like this in your finger, like if you have a gun, right? And you went, the Mike went,
Come on.
and that
Oh
was
my
it.
God. Holy
That was
shit.
it. And the bodyguards came in and threw the guy out.
I used to be
and-
crazy when I was younger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this man's built different. He saved a woman and an entire club from gunshots. But there's one thing he couldn't save: his money. Cause at number 4, how did Mike Tyson make over $600 million and manage to spend it all? Well, when Mike was at the top of his game, he was the richest athlete on the planet and thought money would never run out. So every day was a shopping spree. Airplanes, boats, exotic cars, animals, parties. Mike even bought a 50,000 square foot mansion that has 52 rooms, 2 pools, and its own nightclub. But as time went on, Mike's boxing abilities were slowing down. So by the time Mike retired in 2005, he had no monthly income, but was used to his lifestyle. I mean, not only did this man forget $1 million of cash in a Louis bag at a hotel, he also had $400,000 in monthly expenses. He didn't pay his taxes and found himself in debt, needing to pay over $60 million. Can't even imagine having $60 million, let alone owing it. Man, I don't know how anyone could come back from that. But if you ask Mike, he's better off without money.
You had millions.
I had peace though.
Over the $30 million for one fight? Jay-Z's lying.
Hey, listen, can I tell you something? That don't mean nothing when you don't have your peace, your stability, and your balance. You don't give a fuck. You don't even want it. You want to give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
You need your sanity to dictate any part of life.
Man, I'm just happy he made it out. But look, Mike's made it out of every situation. Cause at number 3, you definitely don't know about the baddest man Mike has ever fought. This is Mitch Blood Green, pro boxer by day and by night, one of the most notorious gang leaders in all of New York, repping the black spades out of the Bronx. See, Mitch may have been making heads roll in the street, but his real goal was to become the GOAT of boxing, and he figured what better way to do that than to go after the top dog, Mike Tyson. So in 1986, he officially challenged the champ in the most insane way, going on TV just to taunt Mike.
I want Mike Tyson, point blank. Michelle Tyson, he's a homo, I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah, well, this guy had a death wish. And eventually, Mike had enough of all the talk. So later that year, he finally agreed to fight Mitch one-on-one. And, Mitch might have thought he was that dude, but what's a gangbanger to a demon like Tyson? So when the bell rang, it was lights out. Mike beat the guy by unanimous decision, humiliating him so badly that he retired from the sport of boxing immediately after. Man, there's not one fighter that could scare Mike. Well, except for number 2, because I bet you didn't know about the fight that made Mike Tyson retire forever. Yeah, see, on June 11th, 2005, Mike was fighting Irish boxing star Kevin McBride, and this wasn't some ordinary fight. Mike needed this fight because he was 38 years old, falling out of the boxing spotlight, and more than anything else, desperately needed the money to get himself out of debt. So, knowing he wasn't the young Mike he used to be, he laced up his gloves anyways and got ready to give it everything he had against McBride. Miraculously, through 5 rounds, Mike was actually winning the fight, but after the 6th round, McBride got momentum back, nailing Mike with some hard shots to the head and the body, and sent him back to his corner dazed. So, going into the 7th round, Mike, who was not only gassed, but had a realization that he was fighting for all the wrong reasons, shocked the entire boxing world, and in the middle of the match, called it quits.
Mike, first let's start with you. Did you want to continue?
Well, I would like to continue, but I saw that I was getting beat on. I realized I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore.
When did you recognize that? In what part of the fight?
I don't know, early into the fight. I'm just sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have this in my heart anymore.
Did you feel as though you had it coming into the fight?
No, I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my parents. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah, that's most likely. I'm not going to fight again. I'm not going to disrespect the sport anymore by losing to this caliber of fighters.
Mike, a lot of people wonder what you'll do now with your life. Boxing has been your whole life.
Well, I'm sure I'll find something to do. Boxing doesn't define me. I'm just sorry to disappoint the people in the city. I know I didn't have it in my stomach no more, but I was in dire needs to take care of my life. I'm just being honest. I'm not taking nothing away from Kevin. I don't love this no more. I'm just in here. I don't love this no more. I even love fighting since 1990. But Kevin, congratulations on your career and good luck. Now, wish you the best and make a lot of money.
Man, you gotta respect Mike for that. That's a legend right there. He knew when his time boxing was done. After all, he went far from where he came from, because I don't think you knew that getting arrested as a child was the best thing to happen to Mike. See, when Mike was just a youngin', at 12 years old, all that bullying in Brooklyn caught up to him, because it created a monster. Tyson was fighting everyone and anyone, sometimes getting into 4 fights a day. So, after getting into a bunch of trouble and getting arrested 38 times, Tyson found his way to the Tryon School for Boys, a juvenile detention center where fighting was all around Mike. I mean, he met Muhammad Ali in juvie. He got into more fist fights with other troubled kids, and he even got his first pair of boxing gloves there and fought Bobby Stewart, the detention center's counselor and former pro fighter. But after Mike broke Bobby's nose, Bobby saw that Mike had extreme power, and with some direction and coaching, had the chance to be an amazing boxer. So Bobby introduced Mike to legendary boxing trainer Cus D'Amato, who helped Tyson become a legend and changed his life forever.
He took me to Cus, and Cus met me at 13 years old. And as soon as he met me and saw me box, he started, this crazy guy. He started planning my whole career and my whole life out. All right, we're gonna win the nationals, we're gonna win the local tournament here, we're gonna win this tournament here, we're gonna win this one, you're gonna win the Olympic trials, then we're gonna get you the heavyweight champion, we're gonna get $1 million in your first fight as a pro, then we're gonna get you into the heavyweight championship, we're gonna build you up, we're gonna fight you constantly, and we're gonna make you the youngest heavyweight champion in the world. And for some weird reason, I was only 13, I didn't want to appear that I was afraid. And he said, are you ready for the job at hand? And I said, yes, I am. But I had no idea what he had in store. I had no idea, just didn't know. I was so ignorant, and yes, I was an ignorant little kid that thought I knew it all. I didn't want him to think I wanted him to think I was tough. I was only 13, but this guy's 70, so I wanted him to think I was tough.
Man, thank God for Cus, because he gave us the Mike Tyson we all know and love today. But as crazy as Mike Tyson's life is, he's also been a part of the craziest moments in sports history, like when he bit a man's ear off and then gave it back to him. What the f***? But there's a lot of sports moments that'll have you saying that. From a parachuter crashing a boxing match, to a man streaking a racetrack, and a whole lot more. If you want to see these moments, you need to click on this video right here. These are the 20 most what the f*** moments in sports history. And this video's over, so might as well click it, right? What are you doing? Click it.